Okay, so it's me again. I'm back, and I have another idea, and I wanted to do it as soon as I could so I couldn't forget. Today we are going to be talking about a very touchy topic. So it's really hard to do it. I don't want to watch, but anyways, today we are going to be talking about what happened on April 20th, 1999, because it's honestly, there's a lot of explaining to do. So there will be a lot of time put into this, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So, let's begin. If you don't know what happened on April 20th, 1999, well, I'm going to sum it up for you. Basically, two teenagers, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. Dylan was 17, Eric was 18. They went into their school, and killed 13 people, 12 students, 1 teacher. And then they went up to the library where the worst of the shooting happened, and they killed themselves. So, let me break it down for you. Give you more background information on everything, so that way it makes more sense. I'm trying to figure out where to start. Okay. So first I'm going to start off by listing the 13 victims, because I have them memorized at like the top of my head. First one, she died first. Sorry, my neck was asleep. Rachel Joy Scott. The second victim was Kyle Velasquez. I can't remember the order from then and on. But Stephen Kernow, Daniel Rohrbaugh, Daniel Mauser, Cassie Burnell, Lauren Townsend, Kelly Fleming, Corey DePuter, Matt Ketcher. Hold on. I know this. I promise. Hold on. Isaiah Scholes. It's only 11. Think. John Tomlin and David Sanders. He was the teacher. So I remembered. Okay, that's good. I got really boggled for a second, and I kind of forgot. Okay, so those were all the victims. I don't exactly know what to talk about, but I will explain. So both of the shooters, Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, both seniors, and yes, they were both seniors. They did it on Hitler's birthday on purpose. They did that on purpose, just so you know. And they didn't like the atmosphere. They didn't like the school. They really didn't. And that's pretty much, they had this. They were bonded by a shared rage and hate for the school, the people that went there, the staff. They were treated differently. They were the outcasts. So they really wanted vengeance. So they took it upon themselves to do that. A couple days after, a lot of people started to blame the parents for not noticing, because this had been planned for about 12 months. And if you don't know, that's almost a year. 12 months is a year. But this had been planned for almost 12 months prior to the shooting. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, they were childhood friends, and they kind of just threw together as one person, if that makes sense, with the same mindset. And they pretty much, you know. The aftermath, though, which is what I wanted to talk about the most, was a thing called Rachel's Challenge that blossomed from the tragedy. So, obviously, as I said before, the first victim was Rachel Joy Scott, and she was mocked for her faith, because Eric and Dylan originally planned, they had bombs. They had the black duffel bags they put in the cafeteria. So during lunch, about 468 students would be there, almost a quarter of the school's population. And so they did that. So they set them off to explode at 11:18, and then that's when the cafeteria was at its peak. And then they pretty much, they waited outside in their cars. They also set bombs in their cars, which also didn't go off. So they had spent a year gathering these weapons. After the bombs didn't explode, their initial plan was the bombs would explode, kill as many people as possible, and they would, as the survivors came out, they would execute them. But since the bombs didn't explode, they went to plan B, which was just to shoot people. So they went, Rachel was sitting with her friend and right out in front of the school, also known as, I didn't even tell you the name, it's Columbine High School. They went up. They shot her from a distance, and then they shot and paralyzed her friend, and then they went up, grabbed her by her hair, asked her if she believed in God. Well, Eric Harris did. And then when she said yes, he said, go be with him, and then she was killed. But her last essay was called My Ethics, My Codes of Life. So I'm going to read it to you. Ethics vary with environment, circumstances, and culture. In my own life, ethics play a major role, whether it was because of the way I was raised, the experiences I've had, or just my outlook on the world and the way things should be. The biggest aspects of ethics include being honest, compassionate, and looking for the best and beauty in everyone. I have been told repeatedly that I trust people too easily, but I find that when I put my faith and trust in people when others would not dare to, they almost never betray me. I would hope that people would put that faith in me. That same faith in me. I'm sorry, it's like really small font. Trust and beauty is an investment you put in people. Trust and honesty, it's just so small. Trust and honesty is an investment you put in people. If you build too much, and it is an expectation I have of myself. I value honesty so much, and it is an expectation. If you build enough trust in them and show yourself to be honest, they will do the same for you. I value honesty so much, and it is an expectation I have of myself. I'm sorry, this is everywhere. I have put honesty before the risk of humiliation, before selfishness, and before anything less worthy of the gospel truth. Even in being honest and trustworthy, I do not come off cold and heartless. Compassion and honesty go hand in hand. If enough of each is put in every situation, I admire those who trust and are trustworthy. Compassion is the greatest form of love humans have to offer. According to Webster's dictionary, compassion means a feeling of sympathy for another's misfortune. The definition of compassion is forgiving, loving, helping, and showing mercy for others. I have this theory that if one person can go out of their way to show compassion then it will start a chain reaction of the same. People will never know how far a little kindness can go. It wasn't until recently that I learned that the first and the second and the third impressions can be deceitful of what kind of person someone is. For example, imagine you had just met someone and you speak with them 3 times on brief everyday conversations. They come off as harsh, cold, stubborn, and ignorant person. You reach your judgment based on those 3 encounters. Let me ask you something. Did you ever ask them what their goal in life is? What kind of past they came from? Did they experience love? Did they experience hate? Did they experience hurt? Did you look into their soul and not at just their appearance? Until you know them and not just their type, you have no right to shun them. You have not looked for their beauty, their good. You have not seen the light in their eyes. Look hard enough and you will always find a light, and you can even help it grow if you don't walk away from those 3 impressions first. I am sure that my codes of life may be very different from yours, but how do you know that trust, compassion, and beauty will not make this world a better place to be in and this life a better one to live? My codes may seem like a fantasy that can never be reached, but test them for yourself and see the kind of effect they have on the lives of people around you. You just may start a chain reaction. So that was her last essay. And her last essay inspired so many people. Her family created this organization, this foundation to inspire people and stuff like that. So that's pretty much the basis around that. So yeah. I guess that was a very brief explanation and everything like that, but I will leave this link in the comments of a website that'll explain a lot. Alright, so I pinned the comment, and yeah. I guess that's all for today. I know it was a very brief explanation, but I gotta go. I have stuff to do, so I will see. I will probably check with Nick, and I might do a live stream later. So